So, what'll it be? Bring me the materials, and I'll think about it. Don't waste my time. You ain't got the stuff. And?
Hopefully it's nothing. But I should speak to Blackthorn just in case. Blackthorn, do you have a moment?
Not really, no.
This won't take long. I just wanted to ask how you're getting on. August was worried about you, and you might still be doubting your craft, even after learning the trick of that cuirass. Is there something else? Perhaps sharing your thoughts might help.
That bastard's like a dog with a bone. Still, he's got a keen eye, I'll give him that. He's just, well, Karen showed me something.
And that was?
A sword. An odd-looking thing with us. The metal itself wasn't anything to write home about, but fuck me. The edge on it. You could slice a man clean in two with a weapon like that, and he'd be off.
So that's what's troubling you?
No. Not troubling me exactly. More distracting.
And if you knew how to do it, we could arm the curse breakers with even better
That's about the size of it.
I'll see what I can find out. Sharper swords are always welcome, and we can't have our master blacksmith being distracted.
You're a soft touch, you know that, but I can't say I'm not grateful for it.
Thank you. Let's see what Karen knows about... You're looking well, Karen.
What do you want?
I want to know about the sword you showed Blackthorn.
Running around after him?
I suppose I am, yes. But I need to help him fight.
Little wonder, I suppose. There's not many like that make it as far as the twins, and those that do go straight, which made it nice and easy.
Can you tell me who bought it?
You think I tell people who my clients are? Suppose you're not likely to. Fine. If Lord Ignac's the man you want, Dhalmekian bloke, collects weapons, and he's got more money than sense, which is why he's one of my... Reckon he'll still be at the inn in Dalamil, where I left him.
Thank you, Karen.
Oh. And he's...
I appreciate the warning.
Which song should we listen to? Paul said it was an army of a passion.
Fly, Ambrosia.
Clive, just the man I was hoping to see.
Oh? And why is that?
You remember how some of Sir Wade's guardians took up residence here after the Akashic attacked? Well, now the rest have come to join him. Seems their barracks in the Lazarus have been lost to an ether flood. Now, I don't mind having a few more brave boys around to keep them animals at bay. I ain't daft after all. But we ain't got nowhere for 'em to bed down. Poor buggers are having to make do with haylofts and chocobo pens. I'd build 'em a new barracks here if I could. But where would I put 'em? There just ain't enough room up here on the rock. Which leaves us in a bit of a pickle. The people we're counting on to keep us safe are living like beggars.
I see.
And it ain't just that lot. There's bears to think about too. There's been more and more of them turning up lately, coming from all over looking for safe haven. But there's only so many we can shelter with the room we've got. We can't keep cramming more and more people into lessons, and that's what I was hoping you might...
It's no...
Thank you.
So,
Well, I reckon...
Eastpool, it's been a long time.
It was a tragedy, and if any of us could have done anything to stop it, what's done is done. And those who lived there wouldn't have wanted...
I suppose...
The blight might be pressing in, but there's just one problem. A band of cutthroats have made it their den. Nasty bastards they are too. Would have sent someone to clear them out, but now we've got a few more guardians of the flame to call on. I reckon...
I do. Eastpool was once home to people I loved.
And I know the men will... I've already shared a few thoughts with Sue, and I dare say he's got some ideas of his own too.
Of course. All right, Sir Wade. Let's hear your plan. Sir Wade, it's good to see you well.
And you, Lord Rossfield. And you.
I spoke with Marth. She tells me you have plans to free Eastpool.
That's right. Though it was mostly. I rather fear my men have been treading on her toes somewhat. And then there are the bearers. Men and women who found the courage to flee their masters. We need somewhere to settle them. And I can...
As can I. Which is why I agreed to...
That's very kind of you. I'd be with you beside us. We shall soon send that...
So...
That thankfully there aren't too many of them. Fewer than a dozen, and rather less, thankfully. The road that leads... A small force would suffice to clear the village. But if the Akashic were to follow them in, that force could end up trapped between a rock and a very hard...
I'll head into Eastpool and deal with the bandits. You and the Guardians can stay outside the village and fend off. Make sure I'm not taken up.
I can't ask you to bear all that risk.
The Akashic are the bigger risk.
Well, if you're sure, I shall summon my men at once.
Shall I wait for you here?
No need, my lord.
All right.
We shall see you there.
Anything catch your eye? Take care out there, eh?
Good girl. Fly, Ambrosia. Time to fight. That'll do, girl. Here. Greetings, Your Majesty. is over. Now to collect the ash. This looks like the stuff. Let's see if there's any more. That should do it. If Hawaii needs more than this, he can fetch it himself.
Paul said it was an army of Akashi.
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone, do you think this ship will ever sail?
All right there, Sid? How's that hunt for the bomb ash going?
I have it here.
That's the stuff. And plenty of it. You're a gent, Sid. Right then. There we have it. The Telemon Alembic. And it works just like the chief said it would.
Very impressive.
Says the man who cut down a burning boulder. Speaking of which, I still haven't returned the favor.
There's no need.
Don't be sick. Why don't you let me take a look at that bag of yours? The one you keep your potions.
What kind of...
Well, we happen to have isolated a substance in our test run of the Alembic that I thought we might use it to breathe new life into old boots and the like. Save the hideaway. Ah, I reckon if we slap a bit on your bag, it'll loosen it up enough.
Well,
That's the spirit. Well,
it certainly feels more...
right?
Thank you.
No, for supporting Mid and the rest of us in our endeavors. Without you, I'm telling you.
We've had no word from Canva for days.
Song should we listen?
Sid, do you recall the flowers I had you bring back to the yard?
Vaguely. Is something wrong?
I'm afraid so. I was able to get most of the Morganbeards to take root, but they rarely flower. I fear the soil here does not agree with them. However, I
can't wait.
I'm going to marry the Morganbeards. With Morbles are possessed of a highly choleric temperament. The fire which drives, I believe that by grafting a Morble vine to a Morganbeard, the appendage's wealth of vigor and the endeavor, I assure you, is scientifically sound. I simply need a vine to prove the theory. That is correct. As for the Morble, I fear ordinary may not suffice. Why, a notice
How timely.
Well, I shan't keep you any longer. I know you have...
Sid! Heard you were in Canberra fetching young men.
Miss Shirley, how can we not...
If Amber and the Lazarus are gone.
I trust you, Rap. Let's go.
Yeah!
All right. Definitely anything but ordinary. Now, let's get this vine back to the yard.
He's a surly soaker.
Sid,
Here.
What an amazing specimen. The flesh positively throbs with vitality. When I successfully graft this to the Morganbeards. It is just as I hoped. Witness how the Morganbeards have taken to the blighted soil. How they bloom with heretofore unseen vigor. Why, I dare say such a vine graft would yield similar results when applied to...
I'm glad I could be of assistance.
You've not only helped us, Sid. Do you recall the extract with which I provided? I took a moment to distill some more. But this time, with the petals, you must accept this phial as thanks for your assistance.
doing here? Doesn't matter. It goes too. Any more surprises? I'll take that as a no.
Bravo. A magnificent display, my lord.
You were watching? I thought you were keeping an eye out for a Akashic.
We were. Put down more than a few on the road, then arrived just in time to see you slay that... whatever it was.
Let's hope it was the last of its kind. Though I expect you and the Guardians will be up to the challenge should another appear.
I would hope so, my lord.
Your men will be bringing the bearers who'll be living here, I assume. It might be best to send word for them to come right away.
Of course. Leave it with me, my lord.
Home. Without masters.
No. We're the masters now. Our lives are our own at last.
That's all of them. And not a single Akashic in sight. Now to begin the important work of rebuilding the place. It won't be easy. Especially not after 5 years of beasts and blackguards having their wicked way with the place. The masonry might still be sturdy enough, but half the beams are rotted. Those that weren't lost in the fire or burned by the bandits, that is. It'll take a bit of elbow grease, but we'll see Eastpool rise again. Just you wait.
So wait. Lady Hannah is buried here. If you don't mind, I'd like Oscar to join the rebuilding efforts.
Of course.
I'll let Martha know that everyone arrived safely. If you need anything more, you have only to send...
And we will, my lord.
Eastpool is in safe hands. Time to go and tell Martha the good news.
First things first, we'll need to get a few of these roofs seen to. Wouldn't want to be caught in a storm.
There you are. All went well then. Sir Wade told me you got rid of the bandits while his lot kept an eye out. Nicely done. And what's all this about some shape-shifting nightmare showing up? On second thoughts, don't tell me. It'll only give me nightmares of my own. What matters is you did it. And now we can build our new village.
I suppose it will be. What will you call it?
What else? Eastpool. Sir Wade said it best. There's plenty bad happened to that place, but that don't undo the good that happened there. No need to throw the baby out with the bathwater.
Did Wade say that?
Well, something along those lines. Anyway, the poor souls might have made it to Eastpool, but their work ain't done yet. So the way I see it, neither is mine. If it's food or lumber or strong backs they need, the rest is ready to provide it.
Thank you, Martha.
No, thank you. You didn't have to help us.
I wanted to.
Clive, we weren't expecting you.
I wasn't expecting to be here, but it seems we still owe you a considerable amount of coin for your help with our rebuilding efforts. And though I doubt it's what you were expecting, we were hoping you'd take this as payment.
A star ruby? I can't accept this. It's worth at least twice what you owe me. More if you can find yourself the right buyer.
Think of the difference as interest.
Interest? If word got out I charged that much, no one would ever borrow from me again. Anyway, why are you the one here asking me about this? I'd have expected Otto. Bit much sending the Lord Marquis out to settle your debts, isn't it? The old goat working himself to death again?
Something like that. Most days I think he's the only reason the hideaway's still standing.
Same as always, eh? Back when the place was nothing but a twinkle in the eye of a recently retired Lord Commander, word is he was the first one Sid reached out to. Probably knew that without his strong arm and level head, the idea would never get off the ground. Sid may have been the face of the hideaway, but Otto's always been the backbone. And when Sid passed away, we were all worried that would be the end of it. That Otto would just give up.
His death was hard on everyone. But it must have hit Otto hardest of all.
But he didn't give up, did he? Quite the opposite, in fact. If I recall, he was the one who nominated you as Sid's replacement, and rallied the rest around you. I reckon what he saw in Sid, he saw in you too. And don't we all? Doesn't hurt that you're half as stubborn and twice as handsome, neither. That, and you keep good company.
I suppose I do.
Can't say it wasn't a relief to see the better part of the Guardians finally taking their...
Are the bearers taking well to their new home, do you know? I sometimes worry.
My Lord Marquis, is that you? It is you. Then you received my letter. I am Sebastian Rutherford, Chief Steward of your Lord Uncle's estate.
Of course. We met once before.
Yes, my lord. Thank you for coming.
And what was so sensitive that you couldn't put it in writing?
1,000 apologies, my lord. I did not mean to offend. I merely...
It's all right. Continue.
I am here at Martha's Rest, at the behest of your Lord Uncle, tasked with learning what I am able of the realm's current state of affairs. And what I have learned is grim. The fall of the Mother Crystals has left Storm in a state of utter disarray. The subsequent darkening of the heavens has only made things worse. Akashic attacks, once unthinkable, are now commonplace. The gears of governance have ground to a halt, and without a steady hand on the tiller, the realm threatens to drift into utter chaos. Your Lord Uncle, however, believes there is a way to avoid this fate, and is determined to see it set in motion.
That sounds like quite the undertaking.
It is. Hence my having enlisted the aid of several colleagues serving the 7 high houses. Alas, I have lost contact with 2 of those colleagues already. They are both able-bodied and trained in the sword, yet in these dark times, even that may not...
So you want me to find them? I'll need to know where they went.
One I sent to investigate the Republic.
That doesn't exactly narrow it down.
Thank you, my lord. I shall pray...
It's not going to be... People take notice of wealthy men. Shouldn't be too hard to track down Karen's collector.
I see you've met with the bearer of the burning quill. Then you'll forgive me if I drop the pretense in your presence, my lord. I have served his grace as the Undying's contact in Dalimil for a good many years now. Indeed, it was my great honor to offer your brother safe haven here not so very long ago. Though, to my eternal shame, it seems he did not find my carrot stew particularly toothsome.
My reputation will be ruined! Ruined!
Calm yourself, Lord Ignac, I beg of you, before you do yourself a mischief.
Pardon the intrusion, but...
Out! Get out! I paid for these rooms so I wouldn't be disturbed. Leave me be!
Please, allow me to apologize. His lordship is going through a difficult time, and he's never been fond of guests arriving unannounced.
Radim! Get rid of the filthy oaf this instant!
Very good, Lord Ignac. Would you mind stepping outside for a moment?
I'm sorry if I've caused you any trouble.
That? Oh, no. That's just how his lordship is. Though the morning's events have left him somewhat fractious. He has been dispossessed of his luggage, you see. The thieves also made away with a considerable amount of coin.
I don't suppose a certain blade, a single-edged sword. It was...
Ah, you know...
Then I'll retrieve Lord Ignac's luggage.
You have but to state it.
I want an audience with Lord Ignac.
A condition I would be a fool to
I don't suppose you saw with the thieves...
I did not, no. Though every ill-gotten coin in Dalimil is said to pass through that
And that's where I'm heading.
I shall speak to Lord Ignac in your absence.
That will be very kind.
Farewell.
Good girl.
Yeah!
Thanks, girl.